The Animal Rescuers has been adopted by Pet Planet. There is nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
Do you know that a fair percentage of assist animals and search dogs come from the rescue community? One of the driving forces behind this endeavor is Marie Peck from the Fetch Foundation. Her affinity is Fido bags. These bags are used for survival kits in an emergency. Let's go inside, meet Marie, talk more about Fido bags, and see what she has to say.
Oh, hi! I'm Marie Peck. I'm an animal rescuer.
So you're part of the Fetch Foundation.
Well, I'm the founder of the Fetch Foundation, and we formed it, the 501c3, so we could get donated funds and have folks be able to write it off. And then the search and service program came, and it just fit in beautifully.
This is the Fido bag that I was talking about earlier. This is so cool. Tell me about this.
The Fido bag is animal emergency equipment that firefighters and other first responders can use to give our pets the best chance of survival. In fires, even bee stings, car accidents.
What are some of the things that are inside of here?
Well, let's start with the most important piece, and that's the O2 mask. What we have here is a large veterinary grade O2 mask where you can place a muzzle in there, you can put a whole cat's head in there if you have to, and that's going to deliver the right amount of oxygen for an animal that is in distress.
And the gloves are for what purpose?
Well, we call them our cat gloves, but if somebody usually the firefighters have gloves on, but if somebody wants to help, this is going to be great. You could just throw them the pair of gloves so avoid becoming, bitten or scratched. There's also a bag in there, so you could place a small animal or a cat in there that doesn't really want to be rescued.
Aww. And is there anything else of importance inside?
Yes, we have a little water bowl, and we also have
what's this?
It's a little water bowl.
Oh, cool.
And we also have a splint. Another really, really important part of the bags is the restraints, because you want to make sure that that animal is safe, and so are you. And we train the firefighters to do such.
What I have to ask you, what got you into all of this, Marie?
Well,
take this from you.
Many years ago, back, it's probably been about 6-7 years, Glendale created these bags. There was a gentleman named Elio Pompey that designed the bag after his dog, Fido, and I was a friend of his at the time, and I thought, why stop there? Why? The entire valley needs them. So we've gone to the entire valley. We're trying to cover them, and we've also placed bags across the nation.
That's amazing. And these bags, are they donated? Do you purchase them? Does your foundation purchase them?
We do fundraisers, of course. What's been happening more and more is the community finds out that they don't have the bags in their community, and donors are coming out of the woodwork. Not enough, of course, but just recently here in Scottsdale, we had a family come and say they would donate to every single one of the fire stations here in Scottsdale.
That's wonderful.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, that is so great to hear. I understand that a large amount of these dogs that you rescue then turn around and train. How did you ever come up with that idea?
Actually, I have been a foster for many rescues in the valley, and I also have been helping with the training of search and rescue dogs. I started identifying dogs that had the exact traits we were looking for. Crazy, wild, play drive, and just intense dogs, and I thought, perfect. This is perfect, and it has worked out that way.
And what's so amazing about that is that's one of the reasons why some people do get rid of their dogs and let them loose, is because they are so wild and crazy and uncontrollable, but where in fact that now becomes an asset to you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you take these dogs, you rescue them, you train them, and then you bring them to the fire department?
Well, actually, it's not necessarily fire departments. Now, we do work with the FEMA task force across the nation, and some of our dogs have ended up as disaster dogs across the nation. But it's the wilderness search and rescue where they're looking for Alzheimer's patients or children. Just recently, some of our dogs were looking for that little boy up north.
How long can they play this role of search and rescue?
Just once the 9/11 dogs, most of them were retired at about 10. We heard that there were some dogs still working at 12 years old.
That's just wonderful.
It is.
It's wonderful for the dog.
Different jobs.
Okay.
Different jobs. Not climbing up that, but there's a place for them.
How can we help?
Well, for our search and service dogs, it takes about $2,500 to get our dog vetted. We use special trainers, we use behaviorists, we take trips. These dogs are exposed to everything from sounds, and they go up in helicopters. So We have figured out it's about $2,500 a dog, and we love to have somebody sponsor the whole dog, but otherwise we have to do fundraisers to find that money. And then the Fido bags, the community.
Okay, so somebody wanted to attend a fundraiser and or donate, do whatever they can. Where do they go to find the information?
On our website,
Okay.
and that's thefetchfoundation.com.
Okay, thank you so much, Marie.
Thank you.
Keep doing wonderful, wonderful things in this community. Keep helping these dogs, and I'm going to follow you.
Great, thank you. We are thrilled today to be able to give the Scottsdale Fire Department their Fido bags. Two of the community members took care of all of the funds to make this happen. Every one of your fire stations will have the essential bag, and then there'll be larger bags for any of the crisis response or battalion chief trucks as well.
Excellent. And on behalf of the Scottsdale Fire Department, I can't tell you how much we appreciate it, and it's affords us a great opportunity to take care of our community's pets. So thank you very much. The donations provided through the Fetch Foundation of their generous contributors alleviates the citizens of Scottsdale of having to pay with taxpayer money to afford this.
Do you trust the food you feed? At Pet Planet, our commitment is to helping our customers navigate through the confusing world of pet food, reading ingredient panels, asking critical questions about manufacturing and ingredient quality. Our pets rely on us to make the very best decisions we can for their health, happiness, and longevity. Pet Planet is here as your partner in pet health, because there's nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
You're watching the Animal Rescuers.
Hi, Reeny. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Kimber.
Can you tell me a little bit about your background with search and rescue, please?
I started with search and rescue dogs when I first got on the job at the fire department in 1998. I heard about a group of firefighters that were getting together to train search dogs because after Oklahoma City, wilderness dogs wouldn't go up on the rubble pile, so they started to train disaster dogs. And immediately I was drawn to it because I just love dogs.
Well, then that was truly your calling, and I understand that you were part of 9/11 and that you were there. Can you tell me about your experience?
Yes, I deployed with Arizona Task Force with my first disaster dog, Everest. We were there for 10 days, and I was on the night team, and we searched the rubble, which is just like you see on TV. You just can't believe it. There's so much work to do, and there's so much devastation, and it was hard.
There would be two different types of search dogs. Can you tell me what they are?
Right, there's disaster dogs, and they're live victim finds, and then there's cadaver dogs that find dead people. So when firefighters get there initially, the sweep is to find live people, and that'll last for about 10 days to a month. And then the second wave is cadaver dogs will come in, and we unbury our own.
And you do that here on it. Is it daily? Is the need a daily need here in the valley, or?
Not in the valley, but around the country where disasters
Sure.
are happening, you get deployed and you go out of town. Occasionally we'll get called for lost people in the wilderness, and there is some work. But we have to train, you have to keep up on the dogs, you have to keep them on odor. That means that when they smell odor, live victim that's trapped or a body that's trapped, they got to remember that and remember how to alert on it. So yeah, we train probably 2 days a week for about 4 or 5 hours.
Interesting. And is that the reason why both of these dogs are crated right now? Is because of that scent thing, or?
It's just a professional thing. You just crate your dog until you're ready to bring him out. It's almost a kind of a cue for the dog too. When you say, when you're opening the crate, you ready to go to work? And they know. So it's all about cues, and they, just consistency.
And these are your two dogs right here. Can you tell me a little bit about each one?
Right, Regan is a silver lab. He's about 2 years old. He has been trained to alert on live victims that are trapped. His alert is a bark. He'll stay at the odor of live victim and bark until I get there. Molly is a yellow lab, and she's also about 2 years old. She's a cadaver dog. She alerts. It's a passive alert. They don't bark. She just sits when she finds odor of a dead person.
And Reeny, can you tell me the combination between the fire department and the Fetch Foundation?
So a firefighter and I were talking, we both love dogs, and we were talking about how we should have an emergency kit on the fire truck. And he said, you want to handle this? I'm like, yes, I know the perfect person to call. Marie, my sister-in-law, who's she's a great fundraiser, and she was all over it, raising money for the first Fido bags that were put on the Peoria fire trucks. There were 8 bags. And Marie was sitting at a restaurant, I don't know if she told you this, and she was talking about the Fido bag, and a patron of the restaurant, who's also a lawyer, said, don't say anything more. You need to take that, you need to patent it, and go with it. And that's what she did. And now she's got Fido bags on almost all the valley fire trucks around the valley.
Can you show us some demonstrations with the dogs and how they do what they do?
Absolutely. Ready? So, search! Good job, Reagan. Good job. Good job. You ready to go to work? Ready to go to work? Molly, ready? Molly, wait. Sit. Buska. Buska. Check here. Buska. Buska. Good girls. Good job, Molly. Good job. Good job, Molly. Good job. You got it. You got it. Good girl.
These are 2 beautiful, beautiful shepherds, and what's the story behind them?
Well, both of these are rescues from the Fetch Foundation. Sergeant was a forced owner surrender from the police. The police department forced someone to surrender him, and he came into my home, and after several weeks of spending time with Sergeant, we discovered that he had what it took to be a search and rescue dog. So Sergeant is going to be a cadaver dog, wilderness only. And Mojo here was a little pup. She was found in the desert at about 3 months old, and she came in wandering around from the desert, and she was very skittish, poor nutrition, and she came in to live with me. And we also discovered that she had what it took to be a search and rescue dog. So she is going to
kiss me.
She is a kisser. So she is actually going to find live people.
Okay.
In the wilderness.
So you have one of each.
I have one of each.
And you did get them from the Fetch Foundation.
I did.
You were fostering them. And then did you fall in love with them?
I did. Well, I was actually looking for a search and rescue dog when I found Sergeant. Marie called me, she knows I have an affinity for German Shepherds. And so she called me when she got Sergeant and said, you know, do you want to foster this German Shepherd and see if he's got what it takes? And I said, absolutely. Now, little Mojo over here was, she, you know, again, knew I liked German Shepherds, and we had no idea if she was going to have what it took to be search and rescue.
Well, this one I think my producer was eyeing because he wanted her, but she belongs to you.
She does.
Sorry, Cory. Well, thank you so much, Sherry. I absolutely love what you're all doing for these animals and also the love that you give them. You will want to take home our next Pet of the Week. Stay tuned.
The first Pet Planet store opened in 1996 after the devastating loss of our Cocker Spaniel to cancer. What we learned then about pet health was eye-opening. The food and the treats that we were giving him did not support his immune system and may have actually harmed him. Pet Planet was established to be a community resource, a store that offers only the healthiest products and the best knowledge on pet health issues. At Pet Planet, there is nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
It started out like a totally normal day.
I love you.
I mean, I guess I was a little sweaty and I was definitely sore. I thought I had gas. Turns out I was having a heart attack. Heart disease is the #1 killer of American women. So now I take care of my heart and I tell the women in my life to do the same.
Sounds great, by the way.
That's nice, sweetie, but that's not my heart. That is. Find out more from the American Heart Association at goredforwomen.org.
Welcome back to the Animal Rescuers, adopted by Pet Planet. My name is Jess. I'm a 1-year-old Aussie cattle dog mix. I was found running loose in the foothills off 43rd Avenue in Deer Valley. Some very nice people saw me and called New Hope cattle dogs to take me in. They did, and now I'm safe. I love to go for walks. I would do good in a home with kids and male dogs. I'm housebroken, crate trained, spayed, chipped, and up to date on all my shots. I'm a Velcro dog as I follow my foster mom everywhere. I'm very smart and I catch on fast.
Hi, I'm Wendi from Villa La Paz with this week's training tip. This week's training tip is we're going to talk a little bit about the first steps of getting your dog to heel, not necessarily heel, but to walk on a loose leash. And my little helper dog today is going to be Baby. Baby is an 8-month-old Belgian sheepdog. She came to me today. We're working on a little bit of crate training for her. But she also this is gonna be our first experience with learning how to walk on a loose leash, because she tends to drag mom and dad around when she walks on leash. So my first step when I first start teaching a dog how to heel is we have to kind of slow everything down for the dog. And dogs very much are destination oriented. So if I'm facing this way, she wants to go ahead of me in this direction. And if I continue following behind her, she thinks that that's acceptable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away her destination. So if I'm facing this way and she wants to go ahead this way, I'm going to change directions 180 degrees and go the other way, and she's gonna turn and she's gonna come with me because she doesn't really have a choice about it. And when she gets up to me, I'm going to mark that moment. She comes into, let's say, into position. I'm gonna mark that moment. And what she's gonna do is she's gonna pass by me again, and I'm gonna change directions. When I change directions, I'm going to be changing directions away from her. So traditional heel position is on your left side. So I'm gonna start walking her on the left side. If there are people out there who walk dogs on the right side, she can also walk on the right side if need be, but I'm just always going to make sure my directional changes are away from her. Okay, come on, baby, come on. Good girl, ready? Okay, so we're gonna start out, see already she's out ahead of me, and I'm just gonna change directions and go the other way. Come on, good girl, very nice, good. She gets out ahead of me, and I'm gonna change directions and go the other way. Good girl. And she stays there, I'm gonna change directions and go the other way. Good. Good girl. Yay, good. Every time she turns and looks at me, yes, good girl. I'm gonna mark that moment and I'm gonna praise her. So this isn't about correction. This is good girl. This is just about getting the dogs to walk with us. Good. So see how she kind of stepped right with me that time? As long as she's staying with me, I'm going to continue my forward motion. If she doesn't stay with me and she goes out ahead of me, I'm gonna change direction, I'm gonna go the other way. Good girl. Good. Very nice. I praised her when she looked at me. Very good. That's a good girl. She's out ahead. I changed directions. Good girl. So basically, I don't want to have a destination. I don't want to go to up the street, go to the corner, make a left. I'm basically going to just surprise her. And all I want her to do is to follow me when I go. Stay tuned to the Animal Rescuers for next week's tip from Villa La Paz.
Do you trust the food you feed? At Pet Planet, our commitment is to helping our customers navigate through the confusing world of pet food, reading ingredient panels, asking critical questions about manufacturing and ingredient quality. Our pets rely on us to make the very best decisions we can for their health, happiness, and longevity. Pet Planet is here as your partner in pet health, because there's nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
Honey! I'm okay. I'm Jen, and this is your Pet Planet Pet Tip of the Week. As loving pet guardians, we're always concerned about the health and well-being of our animals. One of the most serious safety concerns that is often overlooked by pet guardians is actually lurking in your cat's litter box. As they scratch around in the litter, dust is generated and inhaled as they breathe in air. Additionally, once they have left the litter box, dust particles are left on their feet and fur, so your cat will actually ingest these as they groom themselves. Most clay-based litters contain sodium bentonite, which is extremely dusty. This dust is designed to absorb liquid and can swell up to 15 times its original volume. It acts like an absorbable cement. So, when your cat ingests and inhales this dust, it can create very serious health problems in the upper respiratory tract. It can lead to diarrhea and vomiting, and can even affect your cat's kidneys. As a loving pet guardian, look for more natural litters, those that are made from natural ingredients, such as pine, corn, wheat, recycled newspaper. Those are all much safer for your pet. Stay tuned each week for another Pet Planet Pet Tip. There's more of the Animal Rescuers coming right up.
My daughter.
Come here.
I love you, Dad.
Welcome back to the Animal Rescuers, adopted by Pet Planet.
The Highland Church in North Scottsdale is the scene of a Great Pack 911 adoption event. Dozens of rescue groups and hundreds of adoptable animals were here marking a chilly yet sunny Saturday. So many different breeds and not enough time to see them all. Agility, demos, food, and lots of animals make the day great. And what's even greater is that there were many adoptions that day. Don't they all just look adorable? And you want to take them home, don't you? I know I do. This is Kimberly reminding you that it only takes one to do something great, and you can be the one. Adopt, donate, volunteer, and you can be an animal rescuer too. We'll see you next time.
Well, we had just recently some of the sorry.
That's a beautiful puppy over there.
Stop it.
good audio tag.
In rescue dogs, can we do that one again?
Yeah. Yeah.
The pretend